Hello and welcome back. Today I am going to be going over the Bone Daddy, or Nekros Prime. Got a few builds lined up here, and what I'll be doing is running through the fourth mission on the Tactical Alert as examples. Now with this build I do have two complete arcane sets. I have Arcane Pulse on Health Orb Pickup, 20% chance to heal nearby allies, as well as on my Uru Prime Syandana, I have Arcane Barrier, 4% chance to completely restore shields. The reason I've got that is because I quite like running the Yordle's Verdict quite often, and when you're going the inside crew, Barrier is helpful. Now, I've got three builds with him. Config A is kind of a warrior build. You may notice I have no polarity in the aura slot. That is simply because depending on what situation I'm in, I can just, well, as you can see, just whack whatever aura I am in. But yeah, on with this build. It's mainly based around Despoil, taking a little bit of damage from enemies or with Despoil, and getting those health orbs for armor. Second one is Shield of Shadows. These are going to be the two that I am demonstrating, or my builds that I'm demonstrating today. This one's quite energy intensive. Still figuring out the kinks in this. Like, I've got quick thinking, I'm not too sure why. Let's give it a go with health conversion. I've got a few other ideas in mind, but it means I've got to play around with more former, and I've already got 5 in my Nekros. Don't get me wrong, I love Nekros, but it's becoming a bit of a pain to constantly former him to be like, oh yeah, my favourite frame, and suddenly you find out you need to just overload this frame with former. Annoying. Third build is my Creeping Terrify. If you've been watching me do Law of Retributions, you might notice I use Nekros Creeping Terrify quite a bit. It comes in handy, quite fun, and generally, actually I would say possibly a bit more effective than Slow Nova, but that's just me. Only downside is it doesn't affect every enemy in range. It affects a set number, but still. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. I'm going to be running this build, like I said earlier. Despoil takes a little bit of health off, and health orb will pick up. At that point, health conversion will kick in, give you multiple up to 3 stacks of 450, equating to 1415 with his natural armor. That's what this build is all about, staying alive. On top of that, I'm using Tigris Prime, Spira Prime, and the main one is Galatine Prime. Just to help out, I have Carrier Prime. I'd almost say this is required with Vacuum, as you need to pick up those health orbs as often as possible just to keep your armor stacks as high as possible. And of course, Prime Laser Rifle. I on there have Blast and Corrosive with a okay-ish status chance. Not really too bothered by that. But yeah, Tigris Prime and Spira Prime won't really be using them. This is more of a melee build. I'd say it's more like a melee solo farming, and because of that, Naramon, Strategic Execution, Shadow Step are pretty much required. Well, like I said, we'll be doing the Tactical Alert, the 4th mission, which is the 20-minute survival. Let's see what happens.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Everyone has their favourite frame. For me personally, it is Nekros. I do love a bit of the old Bone Daddy. When his rework came in, I was actually absolutely dumbfounded that they had done that, and I'm dumbfounded in a good way. Not like, oh my god, they've ruined him, whatever will I do? I was so happy. I have joined many a mission. So I like my survivals, by the way. Survivals are my favourite. Where I have just spent mission after mission, minute after minute, sat there pressing 3 until my finger fell off. Boring. Nekros has so much more potential but only the people that loved Nekros saw that. So I'm so happy. DE finally thought, you know what, let's maybe cut down the drop chances of everything really, but put Desecrate on a toggle ability, which is an absolutely amazing trade-off. It works really well, and well, to be honest, at this point with about 740 natural health with Vitality, 531 I believe at max, yes, 531 max energy with quick thinking, with 3 stacks of health conversion, so that's quick rough math, correct me if you will, but I believe that's near enough 2000 health roughly, with 1415 armor. I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. Of course, melee build, so Naramon will kick in pretty soon, at which point the fun really begins as you go all stealthy and suddenly you are a stealthed bone daddy. Always a good thing. Particularly if you're playing deaf, you don't want to be seen. I want to add that quick thinking isn't really there as a requirement. It's just something I have put in because of where Despoil consumes health. On occasion, of course, you will still be getting hit. If you're despoiling lots of things, the quicker your health goes down. One of the main reasons this is a melee build is passive when you're close enough, when something dies, whether you kill it or not, just when something dies, you gain a small amount of health. Melee build, solo farming frame, blah blah blah. Quick thinking is there basically as a backup. If by some chance Despoil goes a little bit rampant and you've lost a lot of health or you get hit a few too many times, quick thinking is there to get you out. The moment you see yourself at like 10 health, you don't actually have to panic, but it's a good indicator that you might want to start bugging out and running somewhere to hide. It's also the reason that this build has low duration. You cast your 4th ability, Shadows, they spawn. When they die, pretty quickly, you can desecrate them, get a few health orbs. What I'm actually doing here is sort of showing how health conversion actually works with the armor stacks. I'd say I took a fairly okay amount of damage there. I mean, this isn't terribly high level, but I took a few good hits. And the armor stacks, although they wear off every 3 seconds, I wouldn't say you're the tankiest tanky McFurger Tankyson, but you are able to pretty much take a fair wallop and still carry on like the awesome bone daddy we all know you really are. But anyway, that's my config A, designed around armor stacks. Let's go around for the old Shield of Shadows build, see how this works. Now there are many ways to build this. I have seen lots of people using Shield of Shadows lately on Nekros. One thing I will add for my build, if you do plan on using it, you will need Zanuric. I do have energy overflow on at max, so every second I'm gaining 4 energy. This is helpful, as well as I start a mission I tend to always drop the old energy pads. Also, when I play this build, I have a strange little tactic at the beginning. I end up camping myself in a little corner just so I can get a few kills ready to go for my Shield of Shadows. Like I was saying, everyone has been using Shield of Shadows lately, and I've seen some rather impressive builds. My only real thought on them is they work great. I'm unable to get or find a way at the moment for them to work at. I'm aware not everyone does it, but at exceedingly high levels, like the Void Survival mod, where they do 300% damage. So basically, if you're fighting a level 50 bombard, it's the damage output that bombard would have is the equivalent to a level 150 bombard. That is an exceedingly large amount of damage. So what would happen if you're unmocked and you get to level 200 enemies? It's at that point where Shield of Shadows, if you are interested in going this high, it's at that point where Shield of Shadows is redundant. It will not get you anywhere. I don't know of their exact damage output, but for argument's sake, no matter if you have, like I do, 740 health with a, at the moment, 84% damage reduction, if they do 1,000,000 health, you're still taking a fair amount of damage and it's still going to kill you. So, everyone's different, everyone plays different. Oh yes, I like Shield of Shadows, I do find it very useful. I find it more of a defense excavation useful, not so much survival. The idea is obviously to take the aggro off of the thing you are defending. But everyone's different, everyone plays different, everyone likes different builds. I prefer my config A to Shield of Shadows. Mainly because, really, I find it quicker. I find my damage output to be a lot more substantial than with Shield of Shadows. Maybe I would love to be a lot better at math and have all the inside clues as to how much damage is negated by 1415 armor, and if that even equated to, probably not, but if that equated to about 80%, then it basically means that the build I would have is 1, stealthier, 2, as damage reductive,
Another life support capsule is now available.
and, well, for me it's a lot more fun to play, but still, this build is effective. I have seen people get to about 95% damage reduction with their Shields of Shadows. If you want to go that high with it, that's fine. Just remember there is still a limit. I'm aware that even with my preferred configuration, config A, the weird despoil and health conversion and blah blah blah, there is still a limit. However, the idea of that is, narrow mode, because stealth. It's kind of hard to shoot something you can't see, particularly if you're going melee, because you can't hear them anyway. All you know is you're getting stabbed. Stabby stab stab stab. But the idea behind what I've done here is to show that Nekros is so much more varied now. He is not just a desecrate. So if you are watching this and you are one of those people that Nekros will just sit there, press 3, provide you with life support and loot, I wish to direct you to that brick wall behind you, and I wish for you to place your face upon it vigorously. Other than that, I do hope that this has sort of shown that Nekros is so much more than a loot generator. But anyway, yes, config A, my preferred. Config B, my Shield of Shadows, like I said. I am still playing around with it, so do not take this doctrine. There are a few more things I can possibly tweak, a few more things I can possibly throw in. Still working on the whole formering side. Not too sure what I want to do with it yet. I don't actually play it that often. However, I have noted recently that I have a 1.94 health decay percentage. However, wrong one. However, if I swap out health conversion and put narrow-minded on, get a lot more duration, which in turn should mean a bit more or a bit less health decay, so it goes to a 1.18. I don't know if that would be much of a difference in game. It doesn't really show much to be on paper. It's like 0.8 of a difference, but I'll have to try it. But for now, I'll be sticking with config A. Anyway, that's me. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.